Hi, it's Grandma Moore. It's Friday. Yay. My goal today is to make $200. So come along. Let's see if I can do it. I worked so hard yesterday to be silver for today because I really want to make $200. And all they are sending me is horrible orders. So that's a bummer. I've lost silver. But I did do one order. It was for Panera for $6 for my first order after declining several orders, and then they're sending me other terrible orders. There's a peak pig going on, so I'm sure there'll be a lot of dashers out. So, well, I've been out for half an hour. I have made $6. And, the last order that they sent me that I declined was like 15 items at Meijer's and 13 items at Aldi's for 7 miles for $24. And I really don't think that was a good deal. I would have done it for one or the other. If they were at the same store, I might have, but not two different stores. And so I feel like they're punishing me because I didn't take it. Maybe I should have took it. All right. $34.90 for 9 miles, 2 orders, 43 items. I'm not taking a chance again. I'm taking that. Well, this is interesting. The Meijer's parking lot had all these stacks of snow. And so they're moving them with dump trucks and put them all in one spot, which is nice because it was hard to find a parking spot. And then they resalted the whole parking lot. But even though this one has more items, I like it better because it's at the same store and I don't have to get in my car and go from one place to another. And so, and for 34 whatever, it'll give me $40. So as long as I could get this done in an hour and a half, I'm still at 20 an hour. So keeping my fingers crossed. First, when I dropped off at the business, they offered me hot chocolate and coffee, and which I have some, so I didn't take it. But I thought that was so sweet. So it has like a 2 to 9 minute wait, and they sent me the 70-something item order at Aldi's, which I normally don't do that. But oh well, I'm just trying to get this done. And was only 3 miles, and right now I've only used 11 miles. So I was thinking, well, mile-wise, that'd be great. So it'll probably take me a while to shop for this, but hopefully I could. It's a 11:15. I started at 9:15, so that's been 2 hours. So hopefully I could get this done in an hour, hour and a half, probably closer to hour and a half. So I'll check back in with you after that. Well, it took me like 25 minutes to shop for all of that, so that wasn't bad, but it took me 15 minutes to check out and bag it. So, oh, and it's an apartment. Fun. Okay. Well, it's been a minute since I've got to talk to you guys. So on that Meijer's order, Aldi's order, sorry. On that Aldi's order, I delivered it to that apartment complex, which is for retirees. And I had to put it on a cart and take it to the 3rd floor, but thank goodness there was a cart because there was a big water and everything. And then she handed me $3. So it wasn't that easy of a drop off. I wasn't making a lot of money on it. The second drop off was pretty easy. I would have had it completely done in an hour, but they sent me a Taco Bell order for $3, and it was going right by where I was delivering the last order. So I thought, well, okay. I get there. They didn't acknowledge me. So, I said, hey, do you have a DoorDash order for so-and-so? I remember the name. And they just looked at me like I had 6 eyes or something. So I unassigned it. I'll never get back to silver at this point because now I'm down to 94% on my completion rate. So, all right. So I dropped off the Aldi's order. And then they sent me an $11 for 19 items at Save-A-Lot, which I don't like Save-A-Lot, but it's $11. It's like 1.3 miles or something. And I'm so good on miles today. I'm like, I want to keep that rhythm going. Plus, it's better than getting insulted by the $2 and $3 food orders. So anyway, I'm leaving Save-A-Lot, and there is a young lady that was asking for money. Normally I don't do that, but our devotion the last couple of days have been about giving. And I'm like, yeah, I have $1. Then I thought about it, and I'm like, you know what? Somebody tipped me $3. Let me just give that to you. And I normally don't like to do that because, you don't really know what they're going to use the money for, but that's not on me. And so it was just interesting that the devotions the last 2 days um, was about giving. And when the opportunity arose, I did what I felt like I needed to do. And I don't think I would have done that if it wasn't for learning about that the last couple of days. And, why are you keeping it for yourself? I know today my goal is $200, but, $3 maybe would buy her a cup of coffee or keep her a little warm. It's beautiful out today, but, I don't know what her needs are. So, anyway, kind of neat to see what you've been learning about actually take place and you make a good decision. All right, I'm hoping it's a good decision, but it was on my heart to hand it to her. And I did think about it for a minute, and I'm like, it's only $3. It means a lot to her, more than it meant to me. So the the customer giving me the tip meant a lot, but the value, it's going to be more to that young lady than it did to me. So anyway, thought that was interesting. So I'm off to deliver this Save a Lot order. Well, I thought silver you would have a 95% completion rate, but it just popped up that I have silver. And so I looked and it's only a 90% completion rate. So that's nice. I was stressed out about it for nothing. I think I just accepted $9. Two orders for Taco Bell. I think it's $9. We'll see. And that Taco Bell is the one I unassigned that one order from. Now I see why the one order said 0 feet because I was so confused. But both of the orders are going in the same house. Well, that Taco Bell is still a hot mess. But the drop off is 3 minutes away. It's $9. And it gave me the opportunity to answer or reply to all the comments that I got. I love those. It just makes my day. So thank you, thank you, thank you. We got some new people. So exciting. I don't want to have to stay out for 10 hours. So I really want to make 200, but some of these roads are still bad. Like right now I'm bouncing over ice and snow, and I'm just still a little leery about driving certain places. And at night it would be hard to see. So I haven't made up my mind if I'm going to go home before it gets dark or if I'm going to brave it out. See. Well, I just accepted this Aldi's order for $16.75 for 8 items. And of course I'm in the turning lane, so it's going to take me a minute to get there. That's a bummer, but it's only going to take me a minute longer. It's so frustrating. Today's devotion is about times of trouble, and I read it this morning and prayed upon it, but then on my way to get more orders, I listened to it. I already had read it this morning, but re-listened to it. And because I was kind of shocked. It's Psalms 46, 2 through 11, I think. Um, and it was talking about, like how God put the chariots on fire and until the end, wars until the end of earth. And I don't know, it's just like really kind of going with what's going on now. And it asks you, well, how do you deal with trouble when it's on your way? And tells you to be still, meditate on his word. But, back to the question, how do you navigate through the troubles? Well, right now, I think with everything going on and January being like weird, I personally like listening to other preppers. I'm not a prepper, I'm trying to be, but far from it, just beginning and trying to understand it. And that's really my huge goal is, how am I going to face this trouble? But the trouble in the world, I feel like I have to get my water well fixed. I need to have food. I need to have different resources. There are some things we have and some things we don't. And my biggest problem is I don't really know how to garden. I've tried, and I don't know if I don't have the patience or I don't have the green thumb, but that's something I really want to work on. And hopefully, as I start trying to figure it out this spring, I'll do some content on it because it's going to be bad and I'll need all of your advice. But then in general, today I'm kind of struggling a little bit here and there. And I just stop and pray. And it's like the lady I gave the money to, I just stopped and prayed for her. And that That's really my go-to. And be still, listen, meditate. Um, I don't know what my path is supposed to be other than listen, stop and listen. Is the Holy Spirit telling me to do something? And I know we have, it is so discouraging. Like, well, the other day I was kept getting those $2 and $3 orders, and it was so insulting. I turned off DoorDash, and even though that might not be tons of trouble, it kind of is because that's how I pay my bills. That's how I eat, or, so how do you get through it? Luckily, there's other apps or whatever, but sometimes it's hard to, you know, refocus. So you just have to stop. For me, have to stop and okay, how can I reorganize this? How can I redo this? And pray about it and see what the answer is. Sometimes it's hard to hear the answer. Your mind is, we can't do it ourselves. When we do it ourselves, we cause the trouble to be worse, I think. What do you think? I just want to say, I've made $88 and gone 26 miles. I think that's the best miles I've ever gotten. And then this order is going to be quite a few miles. So I wanted to note that before I add all these miles to it. I personally like to watch things that are kind of conspiracy theories or what is going on, talking about the orbs and the drones and the fires and um just different legislation and it can bog you down. But I like to be aware or at least have those things going on in my head that, you know, even the Bible tells you don't believe what you see and things like that. So I like to understand and know what's being said or what other people's thoughts are. But it could bog you down and it could be very depressing. So, you know, just one of the things why I re-listened to, not only read, but I listened to this devotion because I really do get um invested in all these stories and all these thoughts of other people and what they're doing and oh you got to prep now, no time to wait. The gas line, there's a gas line leak in Georgia and we're going to have higher gas prices. There's all these things which I'm not saying is true or not true or anything like that. But it's just going back to the devotion today is be still, meditate, go God's path. God has our back. And so I just wanted to kind of say that because I know, obviously we're all we all like to watch YouTube and there's so much stuff on there and it can really get to us. And that's our escape is one watching something happy and the other is knowing where when we get bogged down what to do and how to do that. So I don't know, that was on my heart to say and I got to practice it. So not only for you all, but mostly for myself, I've got to practice that and step away from it. Be aware. What do I need to do to be ready? And then step back and still be happy. It's okay. All this stuff can fall apart, but as long as you're right in your heart, I think you can still be happy. You pray and do the right things. You don't have to be negative. Just a smile to somebody else. I mean, I just kind of feel like that's my job right now is just a smile to other people, hold the door or have a good day. People really like that and they're shocked that you're nice to them. And it's what I feel like my job is right now. Right now in my Christian walk, I'm very thankful. So that's my strength. I'm thankful for everything because you don't know what's going to happen today or tomorrow. And, it's like my husband's back was down the other day. I mean, he could have been down longer than he was, but he wasn't. It all worked itself out. So I'm just thankful for everything. But my weakness is repenting. I don't, it's hard to look at yourself and go, oh, I sinned here or I sinned there. So the one thing I didn't tell you all about earlier in the week, and I think it might have been yesterday, I don't remember, but I've been very careful at driving, being very vigilant on watching the road and everything. And so I'm going a little slower. So this guy starts honking at me because the light was yellow, but I don't want to go, I don't want to pull out in front of anybody because it's snowy and icy and the edges are really bad. I was making a right. And so I started honking my horn at him because don't honk your horn at me. It's yellow. If it was green and you honked your horn, that'd be a whole different ballgame. But there was cars. Yes, they weren't real close, but they were close enough. If I was to slide, I could have gotten a wreck, and I want to be in good safety. So I just started honking my horn. And, usually I'll stop and pray and say, "Oh, I'm sorry I did that. And I should have been nice." But I don't know that I did that this time. So anyway, that's my weakness is sometimes I say a cuss word and I feel bad and I don't always say sorry or ask for forgiveness. And that's where I need to work on. But, you know, you've got to have a weakness and a strength, I guess. And so, yikes. But anyway, so I accepted this 550. It's going like 5.5 miles. But with my miles being so low and I'm having a good day, I figured I can just go ahead and do this order. And it's kind of that awkward time, 2 o'clock, that 1 to 3 o'clock, sometimes 4 o'clock is really awkward. So taking what I can, and hopefully I get home sooner than later and I don't have to worry about the whole darkness situation. Well, this order wasn't supposed to take that long, but the road is closed. It's been closed for months and months, and the GPS, at least DoorDash GPS, doesn't acknowledge it. So I'm having to go way out of my way to get to their house, which isn't necessarily their fault, but if the GPS would have read it right, you would have got the real mileage and um, the real time frame that it was going to take to do the order for $5.50. So that's a little frustrating. My question to you is, does your dollar store make you sign a receipt? So some dollar stores here won't even give you the receipt until you sign because DoorDash is tax exempt. And then some, like this one, they don't care. Nope, just go. Always ask because if I go to walk away and then they'll say, "Oh, you're supposed to sign." So I didn't know if everybody is everybody doing that. Walgreens does it, the dollar store does it. Those are the only two I know of. But I just find it awkward or interesting, whatever the word is, that some dollar stores make you sign and some dollar stores could care less. Well, I wasn't getting any orders, so I thought, well, I'll turn on Uber. Oh my, they were worse than the DoorDash orders. But anyway, so horrible orders, blah, blah, blah. One of them wasn't bad. It was $6 for 3 miles, but it was Drake's. So the other thing that I consider is how fast that restaurant is. So sometimes I'll take a $4 Chick-fil-A order because I know it'll be ready and it's a couple miles. That's good. But Drake's is slow. Sometimes, mostly, there's certain ones, so time, because I look at it by time for the most part. So anyway, I took a $10 2-item PetSmart. I forget how many miles, but that's on me on the speed. And I'm a pretty fast shopper. It's only 2 little bitty items, so it shouldn't take a second to pick up. So I'm on my way to PetSmart now. Well, that order was kind of complicated. It was easy to shop for, it didn't take long. And then go to check out. There's a couple people in front of me, computer crashes, so it took a little bit. I just accepted an order for Myers. It's like 6 items for $9. I don't know how many miles. It'll show on the screen. And so I'm headed there, and then I will be at close to 140, and I'm still only at 62 miles. Oh, this is fantastic. So just chugging along. All right, it is 4:30. It should start getting busy, but it's 48, beautifully sunny, and the restaurants are really starting to fill up. And I'm thinking people are going to have cabin fever and wanting to get out. Things are melting. So I don't know if it's going to be a good Friday evening or not. So I went ahead and took this $5 chill burger order for 5.5 miles because I need $12 more before I can quit, no matter what. Then after that, it'll be iffy. So I figured, well, it's better to take this than just drive around or park. So, well, I hadn't got any things that dropped off the chill burger, and it's 5:03, so it wasn't a long wait. And so I thought, well, I'll turn on Uber. As soon as I turned on Uber, DoorDash sent me an order, and only need $7, but it's for like $34 for 53 items at Myers. It'll be my last order of the night, and it's only going 5 miles for $34, so I'm not complaining. Hopefully, it'll be fast and easy. We'll see. Well, it took me 50 minutes to shop for all of that, and there were some substitutions and check out and get into the car. I'm headed that way. The big order is an apartment, second story, and she wanted to add some things, and she asked me before she did it, so that was nice. And she said, make sure you knock on the door so I could give you an extra tip. But I'm thinking I'd rather you just walk down and help me carry everything. Oh well, I need the exercise. All right, that last order went fantastic. It was for 34 and some change, and then she tipped me $20 because there was a lot of things they were out of, and she needed to add some things. She asked if I minded. I said, no, of course not. And so then when I got there, she handed me $20. So I made $203, I think, because I got $3 tip from the one ladies at the old folks home, and then $20 just now, and I got $177 on the app. So thank goodness. So I guess I made $200, right at $200, and only went 83 miles. That is freaking amazing. I'm sitting here at the dollar store because my car says it's thirsty. I'm still silver, believe it or not, and I'm still at 94% completion rate. So that was interesting that I didn't know. I thought it had to be 95%. So I'm happy about that. The day went really good. It was just a lot of shopping. I didn't do much food, just shopping. And that's the trick. If you want to go low miles, I think shopping really helps those low miles usually. And so, my goodness, what a good day. I had a lot of fun comments I got to read while I was waiting a couple of times, or it was a slow moment, so that was nice. Thank you all so much for watching this and going on this journey with me and really encouraging me and lifting me up. I really appreciate it. I was kind of struggling earlier today, and then I got some great comments coming in, and it remotivated me, and I actually made my goal. It took me 9 hours, but at least I made it. So thank you all for always being here and doing your thing. And I hope y'all are profitable and everybody has warm weather for at least a minute. Be able to see some green grass. And y'all have a good one. Be happy. God bless you.